Welcome to day 2 of my 100 days of 6-minute story challenge. Luckily, an idea came to me while daylight was still burning. I have not even had my morning matcha yet, which I'm starting to think is a bad idea. I lied. I couldn't hold out. I needed my tea. Matcha is life. Don't try to change my mind. But let's move on. Time is of the essence. So I'm the youngest of 4. I have a twin sister, an older brother, and an older sister, the eldest of which we are 5 years apart. And in my culture, everything is based on seniority, especially as a child. So not only do you listen to your elders, but you listen to your older siblings as well. Well, I was very petite and small, and I got picked on a lot. So I was quiet in most other settings, but at home with my siblings, I was really chatty. I talked a lot. So they would often tease me for being, I'll admit, I could be a little bit annoying. You know, one of those kids that will copy everything that you say or follow you around just because they know it's bothering you. So my siblings teased me a lot, and I was often at my mother's wing, so I was, doing chores and things like that. I'm sure my siblings are going to give me shit for saying that now too, but I'm not complaining, just describing. So I had this persona growing up after that where I really did not like having people tell me what to do. And even worse than that, I really didn't like hearing other people tell other individuals that might be weaker than them what to do. I was very obstinate in that way. So fast forward to high school when I was 16 years old. It's not common knowledge, but my family bought and owned an Italian restaurant. More specifically, my father owned a restaurant, and my older brother and I worked there. It was called Giuseppe's in a little town called Milton. Snooki's from there, if you care about that trivia. And just imagine walking into an Italian pizzeria in rural downstate New York with a Ghanaian flag on the wall and this very young looking African family ready to serve you a meal that you might have been coming for 15 years. It was wild. At the time, I was the ice cream girl, so I helped prep, but more often than not, I was working in the section where I was serving individual soft serve, and I was managing that section with a couple of other girls that were also in high school. We all got along really well, but there was one specific character in one of the girls' lives that I found problematic. It was a boyfriend that would often come to the ice cream window, and it's okay to flirt on your break, to have conversations, but there were times where he would come up and they would begin to have, let's call it lovers' quarrels, very close to the work area. So I took this job very seriously. It wasn't just a summer job for me. It was, in essence, a family business. My father traveled a lot, and my brother and I kept things running, and it gave me one of my earlier experiences in leadership. So one of the things that you really have to learn how to set up our boundaries. And there was one day when he crossed the line and he came in through the door. They were having an argument and he raised his hand as though he was about to hit her. Now, I must have been maybe 110 pounds at the time, still the same height, so just imagine I was quite petite. But I remember this anger and this invisible strength where all I knew is that I needed to protect someone who was being bullied, who was being looked down upon, and who could not defend herself in that moment. So this wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I ran in between them and I cut across him before he could bring his arm down to strike. And I told him to get the F out of our restaurant before I called the police. So I tell this story not to advocate vigilantism, but oftentimes the challenges that you face, the insecurities that you have growing up are ways to express to you what your values are. And my value at the time was very much that I was going to be a protector. And it's a skill that I'm improving every day, but I hope that with whatever the future holds for me, that I can continue to be that emblem.